or Noah Clark, and you're listening to Worldwide Sim Racing. We are here, joined today for the Russian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for joining in on us. Very excited to bring this race to you. And it's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited. And we are just waiting. 13 competitors out of 16 right now at the moment. Let's run down the order right now. We got Sweet Crown 19, followed by WSR Gurman, Josh 2. Fly By Night, Flip Flop Fish 4, WSR You See Me Flying, Albiku 1, WSR Fluffanutta, Iconic Q, WSR Hartman, Jamian, WSR Voodoo 52, Element 10, and myself, WSRX. Element 10, the championship winner of the WSR Feeder Series, making his debut in the Scuderia Ferrari for this Russian Grand Prix. Very excited to see the pace he's going to have in this championship. It's going to be a good one. 13 competitors on the grid right now. The rest will be filled in by AI drivers, so not too shabby right now for a turnout for this Russian Grand Prix as we're getting ready for the start. We are just a few moments away. It is currently 7:02 Eastern Standard Time, and when we hit 7:05, around then the race will start, or at least the short qualifying will start. And now we got 14 competitors. Somebody else just joined, and that is Speed Kills 3 in the other Alfa Romeo. So good to have him on here. WSR Fluffanutta also on the grid right now, so good to see him in as well. So we got 14 competitors out of 16, so really good turnout for this race, which is really exciting. And we're just getting ready for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. And we're going around the Sochi Autodrome, the circuit built right next to the Sochi Arena around the time of the Olympics in Sochi, Russia. And I'm really excited because I think the track isn't so great for racing in real life, but I've seen some really good online races around here, and I think we can bring some glory back to the motherland. No, it is the Motherlander. The Fatherland's Germany, right? We're getting ready for the start, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to like and subscribe the YouTube channel if you're just joining us. This is Worldwide Sim Racing. We are in an amateur esports league, racing with some of the best drivers I've ever seen, however, and we're giving you guys an amazing show, and I'm really excited that you're able to join us and experience this racing with us. It's going to be really awesome as we are just getting ready. It is 7:04 Eastern Standard Time. 1 minute will go by and we will start this race. And just making sure how the stream is looking on my end. Streaming in upgraded quality. Hopefully you guys will see a better image on screen. We've upgraded our internet quality, so hopefully it should be all blue skies for the stream today. And we are getting ready for the start. It is 7:04, just a few moments away from it hitting 7:05, and when it does, we will go on for short qualifying. 18 minutes of short qualifying, all non-stop action to see who can be the fastest man on track. And here we go. 7:05 is hitting, and we are getting set to go. Short qualifying has begun for the Russian Grand Prix. The Sochi Autodrome, an interesting track, one of my favorite corners, of course, the completely flat left-hander. Really, really awesome part of the track, and hopefully some really awesome racing. Charles Leclerc made a great overtake in 2018 in his Alfa Romeo Sauber. Let's see if we can get similar moves today. Of course, 14 drivers are only going to have 2 AI cars. It's going to be a rather busy grid. Of course, we do have AI substitutes on, so if we don't get a complete mix of drivers, we will get some AI cars as well. Of course, in the feeder series, we race of multiplayer cars, So we generally don't get to do that. So it's actually 18 competitors on the grid. So a few more AI drivers, I believe, have joined in. Lance Stroll, Kevin Magnussen, Lewis Hamilton, and looks to be Carlos Sainz. And hear that engine roar. We got 18 drivers, so almost an entire grid for this Russian Grand Prix, of course. The AI drivers will be the first to go out, as they always do. They don't really do setups. They kind of just get going right away. But we will see some of our first real drivers come out on the grid. Really excited to see how Element 10 does in his debut in the WSR main series, of course, winning the WSR feeder series. Of course, we knew he was going to make it up, but to win the championship is especially awesome to see. As let's see who is coming out. It's Josh 2 in the Williams who's coming out. Iconic Q is actually ahead of him, though. And the 2 Williams will come out onto the grid. Awesome to see some constructors getting their full drivers. Iconic Q coming back onto the grid. Good to see him back on the grid again. It's been a few races since we've seen him. Hopefully, we can see some really awesome racing from a supremely talented driver in the WSR main series. WSR Gurman getting up on the grid, and behind him is the Mercedes of Flip Flop Fish. Fly by night on an outlap. WSR Voodoo 52 in the McLaren now coming around that flat left-hander. Let's see what he can do. Some pretty good qualifying performances of late from him, and hopefully he can translate those qualifying performances into good race finishes. Carlos Sainz, the other McLaren ahead of him. WSR Hartman currently on his outlap. Not the best of races for WSR Hartman in the later stages of this season. Hopefully he can make it up today in Russia. We saw some really good pace in time trials, though again, it is just time trials. Race pace, things like that are not really shown in time trials. So we'll have to wait and see if he can show that pace as well in the race. But maybe a good position for him on the grid, as opening up that DRS flap in the later stages. And Fluffinutta still in the pits. Jamian currently on his outlap as well. Jamian, of course, winning the Singapore Grand Prix last weekend. An absolute thriller with rain shooting down. The skies are yellow. Skies are orange, sorry, right now. Not yellow. That'd be scary. Gray skies right now. No sign of rainfall, though, so hopefully the rain does not come down again. We've been a little unfortunate to have so much rain. There is Element 10 in the Scuderia Ferrari, number 13, and hopefully he can bring some pride back to Scuderia. We haven't had a Ferrari car on the grid since HN Racing left for British Formula 4 earlier on in the season, so hopefully Element 10 can bring some glory back. As Flip Flop Fish has started his lap, as we'll ride on board of him right now, braking hard into the chicane, taking as little curve as possible, and now flat through this left-hander. Let's see how close he can get to that curve, and looking pretty good, running a little bit on it, braking hard, and you do have to run a little bit on the curve because you don't want to cut corners, which is really what's going to affect a lot of drivers here, because it is very easy to cut corners around this track, and also track extend. I believe he kept it all together in there. The time trials are a little bit more strict in terms of track extensions, so they might have a little bit more leeway in their short qualifying session as Lance Stroll goes fastest. The AIs, of course, will go fastest, and we'll see Lewis Hamilton come across, and he's actually fourth, so Kevin Magnussen currently fastest on track right now. Flip-flop Fish, DRS activated, into the third sector, and these last few turns, very slow, hard-braking turns, and we'll see what he can do. Element 10 is currently setting his first lap. And let's get the telemetry on board. Let's see how that's going. As Sweet Crown 19, our championship leader, setting his first lap. He's currently in Sector 2 right now. As Josh 2 and Iconic Q trade blows, but Josh 2 turns out faster right now. Iconic Q behind him by almost a second. Unbelievable, actually. Well, no, actually, not almost a second. A little bit slower than that. As Flip-Flop Fish has to avoid, look to be a McLaren or something, but Flip-Flop Fish goes second fastest on the grid, and WSR Gurman goes fourth fastest. Let's ride on board of Element 10, who's in Sector 3 right now. He's got a 108 through Sector 2, And let's see what he can do around the Sochi Autodrome in his first qualifying lap. Going to be really interesting to see how he fares. Coming around the penultimate turn, then coming around the final turn. Not looking to be the fastest of laps for his first lap, but it is going to be 6th place. It's a 1:33.6. So definitely some better pace I think we can expect from Element 10. Not the fastest, as Jamian goes second fastest with a 1:32.1. And he lines up on the first row of the grid. Josh, too, currently the fastest man on track. Riding on board with Voodoo 52, sitting in 15th right now. Yeah, it's setting a time. Hartman in Sector 2 right now, coming up to Sector 3. Braking very hard for the chicane. And let's see what he can do. Going, again, such hard braking zones, you can really lose the apexes. And, he ran a little bit wide in there. I don't think the game will tag him with a corner cut. He's coming up to the penultimate turn, running a little bit on the curb, coming around the final turn, but it looks to be a pretty decent lap. It's a 1:33.3 for Hartman, but I think there was an invalidation at the end of the lap because he did not set a time. Now coming around the final turn, and not a great lap from Voodoo 52. It's a 1:47.1, so definitely not having the best of times around there. As You See Me Flying is still in the pits. Fly by Night on an outlap. And WSR Fluffernutter on an outlap right now as well. And I think Fluffernutter might be wanting to let by the Toro Rosso, and yes, he does. Maybe get a little bit of slipstream on him, and he'll stay close to him. And I don't know. I think Fly by Night might not want to give Fluffernutter that, so he's going to pick up the pace a little bit, as I would as well. Fluffernutter sporting that black and gold helmet for this race, as now he will slow it up a little bit and then gun it in the final turn and get this going. Here we go. Lap begins. And you'll see that DRS flap open. That decreases the drag on the car, increases the speed by about 4 or 5 miles per hour on average. Now coming down to the first hard braking zone, reaching almost 209 miles an hour, 208 miles an hour in that turn. And ran a little bit of a weird angle coming out of that second turn. Now coming around that flat turn, really much on the curb before slingshotting into the next turn. And I don't know if he got the slipstream he would have liked from looked to be Fly by Night. So WSR You See Me Flying currently on a outlap. Fly by Night, actually. That must have not been Fly by Night. That must have been the Toro Rosso Jamian, actually. No. It says he's on an outlap still, which is interesting. I would prefer... I would have to think not, because he's using up a lot of his ERS, so I would have to think that the game might be giving me a bit of a graphical glitch. He's braking hard into the chicane. Sector 3, very stop and go. Not a lot of flow. But then again, it is very easy then to lose the car, make some lockups, make some mistakes, and ultimately give up some positions. And we're going to see what time he's going to set, though it's telling me he's not setting a time. I have to think not. And yes, he is setting a time. It is a 1:32.5, and it's 4th position for Fly by Night. The two Toro Rossos, 2nd and 4th right now on the grid, so really good to see that position for him. Sweet Crown 19 is in 5th position only with a 1:32.6, so not the fastest man on track. Of course, the championship leader. We do not have Anthony 82.91, so Sweet Crown 19, again, just going to extend this championship further and further. We should see a championship close up soon, as we're getting into the dying rounds of this championship. Not a lot to play for in terms of points, and we could see Sweet Crown 19 wrap up this championship very quickly. And there's a lot of yellow flags going on right now. In fact, there's some being waved around right now, and it is some drivers getting out of the way. Obiku getting out of the way of Sweet Crown 19. Sweet Crown 19, I believe this was his first lap, so... No, he's not. He's running in 0 ERS, so nothing doing it for him. Element 10 now. He's going to set his next lap as coming around the start-finish line. DRS will be activated. Let's see what he has in store on his setup for top-end speed. as he's going to come to the braking zone, and he's definitely having a lower downforce. He gets 210 miles per hour before braking hard. And look at the exit. Really awesome exit there. Extending the track limits as much as possible before slinging it into there. There's Gurman getting out of the way. Good on him. Now, braking hard and just clipping the apex. Running a little bit on the curb, but no track extension there. Another hard brake. A little bit on the apex. Not a corner cut, though. And that's about how much tire you want to be putting in some of these turns. Again, pretty good through there as well. We're going to look at a Sector 2 time because that's really important. That's the most technical part of the track. And we'll see what he can do. As coming around to the DRS straight. DRS activated. Let's see what that Sector 2 time is going to be. What time can Element 10 set? He's only sitting 10th on the grid at the moment, so not the best for him. And it's 6/10 down currently on his best time. So going to try to get it into the 132s. That would drop him. That would put him way up in positions. Around 7th position possibly, as now these hard braking turns. Let's see if he lost any time around here. Getting early on the power, a little bit of a red line. You could hear it in the gears before coming around the penultimate turn and then the final turn. And let's see what this time is going to be. And it's going to be best for 5th fastest, Element 10, showing some better pace. And he puts it on the 3rd row of the grid. Josh, too, still the fastest man on track. Here's Jamian, who runs a little bit too wide into that turn. That might be a track extension. Josh, too, a little bit behind him, not running it nearly as wide. Let's see. He is not running any ERS, so I think this is a no bueno lap for Josh, too. We'll see the Sector 2 time if it's anything to cry home about, but I don't think it is, as Element 10 actually jumps Sweet Crown 19 in the qualifying order. And no, very slow Sector 2 time for Josh, too, so definitely not a qualifying lap to be talking about right now. Voodoo 52 is on an out lap right now. And Flip Flop Fish goes fastest. It's a 131.544. And the Mercedes is on pole position right now, ahead of the Toro Rosso of Jamian. And that looks to be the Red Bull of You See Me Flying. And a little bit of a tussle right now as we have a Mercedes, a Williams, and here's the Red Bull. And Flip Flop Fish is actually trying to get ahead of You See Me Flying. And You See Me Flying had to take evasive action. He does not want to be running into too much messes right there, as he's behind a Williams. That might be Iconic Q. And yes, it is Iconic Q in the Williams. And oh, there was a bit of an off. No, it was going into the pit lane, but it looked like he went into the wall before heading into the pit lane. But nonetheless, it's 5th position right now for Element 10. And no, he did not go into the wall. Just a little bit of an awkward pit lane around the Sochi Autodrome. 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. Here's your lineup. It's Flip Flop Fish currently on provisional pole with Jamian in 2nd. Josh 2 and Fly By Night are on the 2nd row of the grid. Element 10, our rookie from the WSR Feeder Series, the champion of the WSR Feeder Series, sitting on the 3rd row of the grid in 5th, ahead of our championship leader, Sweet Crown 19, who is in 6th position right now. Sweet Crown 19, by the way, is setting another lap. Let's ride on board with him. Let's see what he can do. Coming up to the flat left-hander, the G-force around this turn is particularly strong for the real drivers. These drivers, they don't have to deal with it too much, so thankfully for them, not too much of a problem. Let's look at the Sector 1 time. How good is it going to be as he's coming around, as it's 3/10 down on his Sector 2 time, Sector 1 time, and already looking to beat Element 10 right now, who's in the pit lane right now. He would have to get out pretty soon if he wants to set another lap. Coming up, it looks to be WSR Voodoo 52, and oof, might have given him a little bit of slipstream, to be honest with you, actually, as he's coming up Sector 2 now, DRS activated, and bringing it down the straight. Let's see what time he's going to get in Sector 2. How much faster is it going to be? It's going to be only it's only going to be a 10th down, so not too much faster, as he might not even be able to get to Fly By Night in 4th position. He might only jump Element 10. We'll see what he can do, but lost a lot of time in the 2nd sector. Now coming in the 3rd sector, coming up to the penultimate turn, and Sweet Crown 19 was not happy with that lap at all as he just goes back into the pit lane. Only 3 minutes to go. I don't know if he's going to have time to be able to set another lap. He would have to get in and get out immediately. Going to be interesting stuff. As Iconic Q, and he's hitting the walls. He's got major damage all aboard, so he's definitely going to be going to the pits himself, and that might be the end for Iconic Q's run. Here's El Biku, getting bogged down a little bit by the McLaren of Voodoo 52, so not the best of runs for him. He'll get a little bit of slipstream, but no, I think he's aborted this lap. Not going very fast at all through there, and that is not the best of scenes. As you see me flying, braking hard into the chicane. You see me flying, only sitting in 12th position right now. Would love to get further up the grid for this Russian Grand Prix. Position is very key here, as overtakes are at a premium, usually in real life, and they might be a premium around here as well. So you see me flying, looking to get further up the grid. Fluffernutter has set another lap time. It is plus 14 seconds slower, so he's only got one more lap to do it. He's got it in hot lap, as there looks to be a Toro Rosso coming out of the pit lane. Nothing, though, for Fluffernutter. He gets through okay. Coming around the flat left. Running it well on the curb. We're seeing a lot of drivers keeping it on the curb. As Fluffernutter with a 133.6 right now, so not the fastest man on track at the moment. All the top four are currently on an out lap. Element 10 is on a lap. He's in Sector 1 right now. Let's see if he can go faster. Element 10. Sweet Crown 19 is on another out lap. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, though. We'll see what he does. As Sector 1 was not impressive for Element 10, 1.2 seconds off. So a little bit off right now. As somebody went faster, and it was You See Me Flying who went 7th fastest. So a very good final lap from him. Let's see what Fluffernutter can do, who is currently a big championship rival for him. He's 4/10 down in the Sector 2 time, so Sector 3 is going to really matter. Hard braking zones. You can really lose the apexes here as he flicks into the next turn, but looking really smooth for Fluffernutter. Let's see what he can do. Coming around the penultimate turn and then the final turn. Clipping the apex, running up on the curb only slightly. Let's see what this time is going to be, and it's only going to be 10th fastest, just outside. Just inside the top 10, sorry. But again, he's got a contest with Gurman, who's currently setting a lap right now as well, sitting all the way down in 11th. There's actually a lot of drivers right now who have not set their final times yet, as we're coming down to the final few seconds of qualifying. Element 10 goes into the pits, not happy with his last lap. Sweet Crown 19 was able to set another lap. Fluffernutter has retired from the session. Only 10th place for him. Flip Flop Fish is also retired from the session. There was a yellow flag, looked to be in Sector 1 or Sector 2. And here's the yellow flag being waved. And there's a collision. Flip Flop Fish has crashed in qualifying at the very last minute. And Speed Kills 3 also retiring from the session. There's a lot of yellow flags being waved all over track right now. A lot of drivers losing it. I don't know if they're crashing purposely. You can't, not really supposed to be doing that. Puts yourself and the other cars in danger of crashing themselves. As you see me flying, getting out of the way. And he'll be very happy with 7th position. Just behind Sweet Crown 19, though. Sweet Crown 19, of course. Let's see if he can set a faster lap time. He's coming around the final few turns. He's going to come around the penultimate turn and then the final turn. And this is looking to be a really good lap. Yellow flags being waved, though. Look to be for Josh, too, coming into the pit lane. And now let's see what he can do. It's looking really good as it's 2nd position for Sweet Crown 19. And he really puts it on the mark. A 2nd row finish. And it's only hundredths of a second off of Flip Flop Fish. It's actually just 1/100th of a second. And a few thousandths. As Jamian goes fastest at the end. It's a 1:31.3. And Jamian puts the Toro Rosso back on pole position. Awesome stuff from Jamian at the end. all the drivers getting done with their laps, but it is Jamian who goes fastest. As Josh, too, I believe, is currently going in the pits, and yes, he is. It is done. And there is your pole man, Jamian, back on pole position, looking for back-to-back wins in WSR. He would love to cement his place in WSR. Of course, later in the championship, he's not going to be fighting for a top 3 finish, but he would love to show why he deserves to be here next season. That's the end of short qualifying. There's your starting lineup. Jamian in pole position, Flip-Flop Fish behind him, Sweet Crown 19 dropped back down the 3rd position. Josh 2 and 4th. Iconic Q rounds off the top 5. Our rookie, Element 10, in 7th position on the grid in the Scuderia Ferrari. Hopefully better race pace for him, puts him up higher in the positions. He's taking a little bit of glass of water as we get ready for the start of this race. Hopefully all clear skies for the race. Rain has been, and yes, it is clear skies around the Sochi Autodrome, so we will not be dealing with any rainfall as it stands right now. We'll keep you updated and posted if we get any rain conditions later on in the race. As we're just getting ready for the start of your Russian Grand Prix. My name is WSRX or Noah Clark, and I'm glad to be calling this race for you, ladies and gentlemen. It is the WSR 2019 Russian Grand Prix. And Sweet Crown 19 is in the closing stages of his championship, looking to shut it down. Probably won't be happening this race, but Anthony 82 really has to put a, quite frankly, stellar performance in Japan if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. But we'll keep you posted on that championship standings right now. At the moment, I can't tell you for sure how that's going to end up. But look at that grid. That is a lot of drivers as we get ready for the start of the formation lap. And let's go over the starting lineup. It's a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen, as Jamian is on pole position. Flip-Flop Fish in 2nd. Sweet Crown 19 is in 3rd position. Josh 2 in 4th position in the Williams, and the other Williams and of Iconic Q behind him in 5th. Fly By Night in the Toro Rosso in 6th position. Element 10 in the Scuderia Ferrari in 7th position. 8th position is for WSR Gurman, and you see me flying behind him in 9th. 10th position for El Biku in the Renault. Hartman with a pretty good qualifying for him, starting in 11th position. Fluffanada, not the best, 12th position for him in the other Renault. Speedkills 3 in the other Alfa Romeo, sitting down in 13th right now, not the best of qualifying performances for him. Voodoo 52, again, not a great qualifying, 14th position. Hopefully he can turn race pace to be better. Kevin Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, and Lewis Hamilton, all AI drivers, near the bottom of the grid with 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th respectively. Jamian on pole position, another great lap from him. Wasn't on pole position in the last race, but hopefully this pole position for him can turn into a race win, as he would like that to be the case. Slowing up very much through the 3rd sector. The AI will take control of the cars, and they will line up automatically onto the grid. And then we'll get ready for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. There's that Sochi Autodrome sign, as I believe AI control should be kicking into effect just about now. And yes, definitely right now, we're starting to see those AI drivers line up the cars on their respective grid positions. A few drivers not going around. Something must have happened at the beginning. Nevertheless, all the drivers are lining up on their grid positions, and the engines will roar. The 5 lights will go on, and then they'll go off, and we will get ready for the start of this Russian Grand Prix. Scar Logan LPC joining. He could have raced today, but it was a little bit late. 27 laps around here, and let's get ready for the start of the Russian Grand Prix. And it's 1 light, 2 lights, and no, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and in Russia, it is go. There's a jump start. Looks to be by You See Me Flying as he gets into 1st position, but it's really Jamian in 1st position. as Sweet Crown 19 gets in third position. A lot of carnage at the beginning. A big jump start by You See Me Fine. That's going to be a drive-through penalty, and it's 3 wide into turn 1, and then there's big damage for him. There's a Renault off track that might have been looked to be Fluffinutta, and no, I think it might have been Albiku actually, who's sitting down in 16th position right now. And there's a lot of carnage at the back of the field. A lot of drivers losing positions, going 3 wide, 2 wide in the turns. As this is a lot of drivers, and looked to be a Toro Rosso who really overshot that turn. And a lot of drivers overshooting their turns. But it's WSR You See Me Fine who gets a horrid start. It's a jump start for him, and that means he will have to go through the pit lane. A horrid start for him in this race, as Jamian in second position is the true leader of the race at the moment, with Sweet Crown 19 behind him. But Sweet Crown 19 will be challenging Jamian for the lead of this race. This is not over, folks. Sweet Crown 19 is back in his natural element. The dry weather is here in Russia, and let's see what he can do. Coming around into Sector 3, and he is right on the back of that Toro Rosso, who is currently in the lead of this race. He kept the lead of the race. You See Me Fine with a jump start, and a lot of carnage in the first few laps, as there goes You See Me Fine diving into the pits after that jump start. Jamian will take the lead of the race. Sweet Crown 19 will come into second position, and so it's a good start for Sweet Crown 19. And now the slipstream for Sweet Crown 19. No DRS activated for him, but he will have the slipstream on Jamian, and then really, when DRS comes into effect, then we'll really see what he can do as he comes into that little chicane before coming up to the flat left-hander. And it's Fly By Night and WSR Gurman who are getting a little bit of a battle going on. And ultimately, Hartman goes on the inside of Fly By Night into that left-hander, and now braking hard into that turn as Fly By Night looks to make a move, but nothing having it. And Hartman keeps the position. And a little bit of a train of cars right now. It's looking a little bit like a AI lobby on 0% AI, as you see this big train of cars looking for opportunities to make a move. Sweet Crown 19 is in second position. Our championship leader, Flip Flop Fish, though, actually has a pretty good run on him as well. So the top 3 drivers looking very feisty as Scarlet Oak and LPC left the session. Flip Flop Fish is in third position, and he'll look to make a move on Sweet Crown 19. This next lap will have DRS activated, and the start-finish straight is going to be overtake galore as far as I'm concerned. All the drivers will have DRS in that top 5 as they're getting very close, but it really is going to matter based on your track position, how close you are to the back drivers, and it's actually Sweet Crown 19 who is dropped behind Jamian. So he's a sitting duck right now. He doesn't have DRS at the moment. He has to get within a second of him in order to have it. Jamian goes fastest on track. No DRS for him, but Sweet Crown 19 has not gotten it. But there is DRS for Flip Flop Fish. And here is the slipstream, and he is coming blazing on Sweet Crown 19 into the turn. No, actually backs out. He didn't think he had enough room, and he decided not to make the move happen. Sweet Crown 19 defending well. Has Josh 2 now. Fly By Night with a 3-second time penalty already for multiple warnings. And that might be a little bit of a common phrase as we go further on to this race. Track extension warnings will be a lot on this track. And now look at Flip Flop Fish. He is right behind Sweet Crown 19, and he's really challenging for second position. And he is just about 3/10 behind him. He loses it though. Josh 2 will be all over him now as Josh 2 sees Flip Flop Fish go off the track. And let's see if Flip Flop Fish can recover it though. He will drop back a little bit from Sweet Crown 19. Though Sweet Crown 19 has actually dropped back from Jamian. So right now, Sweet Crown 19 is in the hunter zone right now for the rest of the pack, as Jamian is starting to run away with it, as he has caught back up to Sweet Crown 19. And Sweet Crown 19 is really struggling right now. He's on that soft compound tire, but not looking super racy right now on those soft compound tires. I don't think there's any damage for Sweet Crown 19. No, all good in terms of car condition. Now, coming on that start-finish straight, DRS is going to be activated, and we're going to see if the slipstream is good enough. And already, he's very close to him. Here's the DRS activated. This should be an easy move. And Sweet Crown 19, all he can do is watch, and they're going to go side by side into the turn. And no. Flip-Flop Fish with a very good overtake on him. Josh 2 now is going to look and set his eyes on Sweet Crown 19. But Sweet Crown 19, he's not going to have this lying down, as going hard, braking as he stays right up to the rear diffuser. And now Flip-Flop Fish has an issue because he has to get closer to Jamin, or else he's not going to have DRS, and this is going to be a switch around of positions. Josh 2, 3 seconds worth of time penalties, but Sweet Crown 19 actually went a little wide, and Josh 2 gained some time on him. And now there's a yellow flag in second. Oh my goodness, there's a crash somewhere. That looked to be Gurman, who spun, and there's big damage. Gurman with a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Magnussen. And WSR Gurman has had a spin, and he has had a big accident, front wing damage. Element 10 has had a really bad start to his race. Of a element of his front wing is gone. He's sitting all the way in 12th position right now, sandwiched by Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton. Not the best of starts for him. Fluffernutter is sitting all the way in 8th position, so a good start by him. And that is Hartman in 7th. Fly By Night did overtake him again. Iconic Q sitting in 5th. And let's ride on board of Sweet Crown 19, who is actually going to have Slipstream now and an overtake, possibly, on Flip-Flop Fish, who is not going to have DRS. But no DRS. The DRS flap isn't open for Sweet Crown 19, which is interesting, as Element 10 gets ahead of... No, Element 10 actually goes into the pits. And look at that. You see me flying, battling very hard of Lewis Hamilton, actually pushing him off the track. Look to be. DRS will be activated down this straight, I believe. And no DRS. Lewis Hamilton's the only one of DRS, though I don't know if that's a graphical glitch. As Lewis Hamilton looks on the inside, a dive bomb move by You See Me Flying. And now Lewis Hamilton, though, battling with him again as You See Me Flying is getting pushed on track, and he makes the overtake done, though. And he dispatches himself of the soon-to-be 6-time world champion Lewis Hamilton in real life, though right now he's not exactly what you would call the man on the mission. And that man on the mission is You See Me Flying, sitting in 12th position right now on the grid. Thank you for joining us. It's lap 5 of this race, and You See Me Flying now has to contest with Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen. AI driver's always fishy. A dive bomb move will be made, I presume, by You See Me Flying, but you got to be wary of what Kevin Magnussen is going to do. You got to make the moves done and dusted, as now he's going to try to get ahead of Lance Stroll, but nothing doing. Lance Stroll closes the door on him, and he's got to deal with Kevin Magnussen, though, as now Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen are swapping positions, and look at that. You See Me Flying takes advantage of it, and Gurman has retired from the session. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. There must have been an accident of some sort, as there's Jamian in the lead of this race. Josh, too, a little bit behind him, but nothing doing it. And that yellow flag has gone away. Let's ride back on board with You See Me Flying, who is now going to look to make a move on Lance Stroll. DRS will be activated, and Lance Stroll, he's just going to sit and watch as You See Me Flying should get ahead of him, and no, he has to go around the outside, and let's see if he can do it. And oh, he tagged the back of Lance Stroll, and I don't know if Lance Stroll is going to have damage, and no, I don't think he will, but that could have been really bad. As going through the flat turn, it looked to be Lance Stroll actually looking to make a little bit of another challenge, and no damage for Lance Stroll. He sits behind You See Me Flying, but I think that gap is going to increase, so I don't suspect anything for him, as You See Me Flying trying to have to actually be a little defensive, as Lance Stroll has actually kept up with him a little bit. Albiku has his own set of 3 seconds of time penalty. And nope, he goes off track a little bit. Lance Stroll, the AI, actually making a mistake, funny enough, as he goes further up the grid. Josh, too, sitting in 4th position right now, and he's chasing down Sweet Crown 19, who, for all intents and purposes, not on pace right now around the Sochi Autodrome, and now coming up to laps number 6 and then lap number 7, actually, as Jamian crosses to make it 7 laps. He will have DRS down this straight. Let's see if he's going to have enough to get an overtake. He's about 5/10 behind him, as now let's see Josh, too. Will he make any big moves? No. All he can do is sit and watch. Sweet Crown 19 able to keep ahead of him, just getting enough time through the lap. in order to keep the position going. As Josh 2 sitting in 4th position, looking to get onto the podium. Sweet Crown 19, our championship leader, sitting 1.7 seconds behind Flip Flop Fish. And looks to be Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton battling it out. You see me flying. Flip Flop Fish gets hit for a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help his fight against Jamie, though I suspect Jamie might get his own set of penalties as well. You see me flying is sitting in 10th position. He's about 4 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Will be the next man on track. He's had some tussles with Carlos Sainz, in fact, a lot during the season, so maybe he can get a little bit one up on him. As there is Fluffinutta. Not the best of qualifyings, but he's had a good start in this race. He's sitting in 8th position, 2.9 seconds behind Hartman in the Haas. Fly By Night is in 6th position in the Toro Rosso. Iconic Q is in 5th position. Here's Josh 2. And he's a little bit further back than he was in the previous lap, but DRS will be activated nonetheless, and we'll see if he can get close enough. And no, I don't think he is. He's actually dropped behind him by now a second, despite gaining the DRS. No time gained. It was about basically a no balance. No time lost, no time gained. As looks to be Speed Kills 3, who is battling with Element 10. And look at this, side-by-side action into Sector 3, as Element 10 and Speed Kills 3 really having a good tussle here. As looked to be Speed Kills 3, who pushed Element 10 a little bit off track. But then again, I didn't see the move completely made. And Element 10, though, is going to have better run on him onto this DRS zone. And I think Speed Kills 3 might just have to sit and watch, as that Ferrari power is going to overtake that Alfa Romeo power. Well, they're actually both Ferrari powered, but the aerodynamics, you would think, would be better on the Ferrari. As here's the move made, DRS activated, and not the easiest of moves. The Speed Kills 3 will try his best, but he overblows it, and he actually cuts the chicane, and I think he's going to let him by, let's see, through this left-hander, and he just about let him by. As a little bit of a tussle going on between Element 10 and Speed Kills 3 for 15th position, as Albiku gets ahead of Kevin Magnussen and promotes himself in the 13th. Here is Speed Kills 3 chasing down the Ferrari, but now dropping back a little bit, actually. Not able to keep up the pace. Speed Kills 3 actually gets hit for a 3-second time penalty, so add insult to injury for him. Not able to keep up the pace with the rookie of Element 10. Element 10, though, let's be honest here, not the best of races for him so far. Lap 9 of 27, still a lot to go in this race, as now look to be Iconic Q and Fly By Night, as Fly By Night loses it a little bit, actually, and Iconic Q gets a position off of him, and they'll be trading a little bit of blows right now. Williams against Toro Rosso. This has been a ongoing battle between these two constructors, and now it is Fly By Night and Iconic Q bringing that battle to us right now around this track. Starting to see some gaps form. Really now it's going to be pit stop strategy, as Fly By Night, though, currently the closest man to another driver, and that man is Iconic Q. Again, we haven't seen Iconic Q in the past few races, so good to see him back on track again. Let's see if he can get a good finish. Currently sitting in 5th. He is behind his teammate Josh 2 in 4th position. And here's Fly By Night. Very good slipstream with that DRS activated. And he's going to brake hard in there. Oh, and he tags the back, and Iconic Q gets spun by Fly By Night, and Fly By Night's going to go by him. And I think he might have to give that position back. Iconic Q got spun around by Fly By Night, and that looked to be a bad move by Fly By Night, and Fly By Night might have to sit and let that position by, and now Fly By Night's actually going to go into the pits. And Iconic Q actually blew it. He blew the turn, and I think he wanted to go into the pits, but it didn't happen. As Iconic Q is retired from the session. He's left the session again on track. Another retirement on track for Iconic Q. Again, this is against the rules and regulations. You're not allowed to quit. Is there front wing damage for Iconic Q? I think he might have banged his front wing, and he has. He goes off track, and Iconic Q has left the session. I think he's pretty angry with Fly-By-Night, who tagged the back of him and spun him around. Fly-By-Night got the position, and Iconic Q is not going to be happy with the turn of events in that race. He has decided to retire from the session. The car has actually retired, so there's no AI control. So he did retire on track. It pulled off to the side of the road. No safety car deployed. But very interesting scenes, but unfortunate scenes, because that killed another race for us. We're gonna ride on board of You See Me Flying, who is chasing down Carlos Sainz in the McLaren, and let's see what he can do. Coming up to him now. About 4/10 down, as Fluffernutter and Hartman are actually battling right now, as Hartman takes a big chunk out of that turn, trying to get close to Fluffernutter, and now getting a better exit out of that turn, but I think it'd be a little hard to make a dive bomb move there. As now You See Me Flying will make a dive bomb, and it's a big dive bomb, and I don't think it was good enough, as now Carlos Sainz, will he get a better run by You See Me Flying? No, You See Me Flying somehow recovers it all, despite that being about the biggest dive bomb I've ever seen, as Jamie and Josh do into the pits. Fluffernutter, who started on the mediums, is actually in second position right now. 15 seconds behind Sweet Crown 19, who's still on that soft compound tire. Sweet Crown 19 will have to pit soon. It's on lap 11, so I suspect he'll pit very soon, in fact. And again, very unfortunate. Sweet Crown 19 is your leader in this race, though he will have to make his pit stop. He's on that soft compound tire. WSR Fluffernutter is in second position, but he's on the medium compound tire, though he gets hit with a 3-second penalty. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Was there a crash somewhere? And Speed Kills 3 is out. He's had a DNF. The yellow flag is gone. That's interesting. Where is Sweet Crown 19 going to go into the pits? No pit stop for him yet. He's staying out there, thinking he can extend that tire life. Fluffernutter would take the position. And I think Fluffernutter is going to stay out as long as he can. No pit stop for him anytime soon. This medium tire will go very long into the race. So it'll be mediums and then soft. So even then, when he makes his pit stop, he's going to be blistering on that soft compound tire, so he can go much longer into this race and then be very fast near the end. Fluffernutter might be in a very good position for a good haul of points. As now Fly-By-Night into the pits. No, You See Me Flying is into the pits. Sorry, Fly-By-Night did make a pit stop already. He's now back in the 7th position. You See Me Flying making his first pit stop of the race. And it is the medium compound tires going on for him. This should be a one-stop strategy for most of the drivers, as now look at that. It looks to be is that Hartman and Jamian going at it? And no, now Jamian going on the inside of Hartman, and Hartman just watches as Jamian makes quick work of him. And a really awesome overtake by Jamian. Let's look. Sweet Crown 19 is in Sector 3 right now. Fluffernutter must be looking his chops, because he's going to know eventually he's going to have that net first place. But Flip Flop Fish is only a second behind him, and he's going to have DRS. Let's see what Sweet Crown 19 decides to do. Is he going to go into the pits finally? And yes, it is going to be a pit stop for our championship leader, Sweet Crown 19, into the pits. Now, what does Fluffernutter like to do? Fluffernutter can technically stay out a little bit longer based on that tire life, but he might decide to pit anyway. And no, he does not go into the pits. And Fluffernutter, for the first time in quite a while, in fact, might be the first time ever, he is going to lead a WSR race. Sweet Crown 19 is into the pits, and there it goes. Fluffernutter in the lead. But Flip Flop Fish might have something to say about that, as they're swerving around on track right now, and a big move made by Flip Flop Fish, and he gets a position done and dusted. Fluffernutter tried to fake him. Flip-Flop Fish faked him as well. And they both got the position. But now look at this by Fluffernutter on the inside on the left-hander. But no, nothing going for it. That would have been an awesome move. But a little bit too far back. Fluffernutter will try to keep with him. But again, he's on those used mediums. So I don't know if that's going to be necessarily a possibility for him. As now 2 AI drivers going to the pits. Usemi Flying now is promoted into 10th. And Usemi Flying is behind Element 10, sitting in 9th position, who's on those medium compound tires. Hartman is sitting in 8th on those mediums, so they look to be used mediums. I think he has to make his own pit stop. Carlos Sainz is on the soft compound tire. He'll be making a pit stop soon, I presume. Fly By Night on new mediums. There's Sweet Crown 19 on new mediums. As there's Josh 2 on new mediums as well. So now that battle is switched around a little bit. As Fluffernutter has dropped back from Flip-Flop Fish a little bit. So I think Fluffernutter, he's going to try to extend this, strategy a little bit. But it's going to be futile. Now Jamian is in the slipstream. And Fluffernutter is just going to let Jamian by. There's absolutely no reason to be battling for that position. As he'll try a switchback maneuver. He's going to try to get some sort of position. As he's going to go for that left-hander on the inside. And he's going to look again. But Jamian has that closed off. He is not going to let that happen. And now Fluffernutter drops to 3rd position. And you're starting to see a little bit of pace drop off from that Renault. I suspect the pit stop will be coming within probably the next lap. We're over halfway done in this Russian Grand Prix, and it's Flip-Flop Fish who's in the lead. Jamian has actually been jumped by Flip-Flop Fish based on strategy, so good by Flip-Flop Fish. He is now in 1st position ahead of Jamian. Jamian again looking to be another man to get back-to-back wins in WSR. Sweet Crown 19, a little bit off pace, only in 4th position, not even a podium position at the moment for him. And he's 5 seconds behind Fluffernutter, though Fluffernutter does have to make a pit stop soon. And I suspect he will try. Jamian, though, has not had the best of runs, actually, as he's trying to chase down Flip-Flop Fish. Though I think this pit stop should be made pretty soon, but it's not going to be made this lap. Fluffernutter staying out. I don't know, I'm not seeing Fluffernutter totally planted right now on track. I think that might have been a little bit of a mistake to stay out. As, look at that, Sweet Crown 19 is really gaining a lot of time on Fluffernutter. Dropping almost to 4 seconds. Now it was 5 seconds at the beginning. And straight line speed looks to be better for the Renault. But it's in the corners that Fluffernutter loses time. And, yep, it is the corners that's losing him time. Albiku gets into 11th. Listen to that engine noise between the Ferrari engine and then that Renault engine. The Renault engine just sounds way less powerful. I don't know about you. Maybe it's just me. Let's just take in that engine noise for a little bit as we see what Fluffernutter elects to do for his pit stop. And now Fluffernutter is going to be coming around to the pit lane again. And is he going to make a pit stop? And Element 10 has dropped a position to Usemi Flying. And oh, there's damage for the Ferrari. Element 10 must have had some sort of crash. And he's going to let by Albiku. And the front wing is gone. And there is Fluffernutter into the pits. So this should be the soft compound tire going on. And yes, it is. Soft compound tire going on. He'll be very quick. And where's Fly By Night? He's going to jump Fluffernutter. Hartman will be coming soon as well. But I think this has worked out really well for Fluffernutter. He should come out in 6th position. There's Hartman on the straight. He got a bad run, though, through there. And I think Fluffinut has an absolute master stroke of a strategy. Yes, he has. 6th position, and it's on softs. The better tire, of course, than the mediums. And he is going to be looking really good. And, oh, but 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And that's not what you want to be doing with such a good strategy on your belt. But Fly By Night, he gets hit with a 3-second time penalty of his own. So I think that balances all out. Fluffinut looking really good for a position as Element 10 has to go into the pits. And it's been nothing short of a bit of a disaster for Element 10 in his first race, as he's going to drop all the way down the 14th and maybe even 15th. As there comes Kevin Magnussen as he has to change his front wing. The new front wing goes on for the Ferrari as he comes out of the pits. Kevin Magnussen, though, is going to be coming on that start-finish straight, and he might even lose the position to Kevin Magnussen. We'll have to wait and see. And yes, he is. Element 10 all the way down in last position. Not a good race for the Ferrari driver, and not a great showing for him in his first race, though. Again, good pace in qualifying. I think we'll get that in the race as well. But Element 10 not showing the same competitiveness that we saw in the feeder series, as Jamian had to be a little bit cautious there as Element 10 was coming out of the pit lane. As Jamian is hunting down Flip Flop Fish for first position. Getting very close to him indeed. As Albiku makes a move on Lewis Hamilton, and that move is done. Let's see what Jamian can do. He's chasing down Flip Flop Fish for the lead of this race. He's about 8 tenths behind him. Lap 17 of 27, so 11 laps to go. We're into the dying parts of this race. And Jamian looking to get back-to-back victories. And he's got DRS activated. He's going to gain a little bit in Sector 3, but that's not an overtaking opportunity kind of DRS. It's just to keep you close to where the real slipstream, the real DRS is going to come into effect, and we'll see what he can do. And there's the Ferrari of Element 10, who has been lapped by the top two. And here comes Jamian around the final turn. It looks to be close enough. He's going to stay in DRS range, but he is a little far back than I think he would have liked to have been. DRS flap is going to open, and let's see how close Jamian can get. It's not going to be an overtake, and he didn't gain a lot of time at all, actually. No. Not able to stay close to Flip Flop Fish, and he might have lost his battling chance now, as Fluffinut sitting in 6th position, looking really good for the end of this race. The only problem he's going to have to contend is that those soft compound tires might start to die around the final few laps. Though I think he'll be able to keep it alive, as Hartman on those mediums, obviously at the moment on a slower tire. So Fluffinut, not a good qualifying, but a really good strategy has put him in a good points position. Ahead of Used To Be Flying, actually, who's only sitting in 8th position on those mediums. Used To Be Flying, again, had a horrid jump start, so quite frankly, he's quite lucky to be in the position he is right now. And I think he'll just be happy to be where he is right now, regarding that horrid start at the race with that jump start. Flip Flop Fish is in first. Sweet Crown 19 in second. Sweet Crown 19 is in third. Josh 2 in fourth, and Fly By Night, pretty happy with himself, in 5th position. But he's got a charging Fluffinut behind him on new softs. Just taking a little bit of sip of water. My mouth getting a little bit dry. My mouth was a Sahara desert after that Singapore Grand Prix. I didn't grab water, and I said to myself, I'm definitely grabbing water today. I'm not having a repeat of last week. And thankfully, Fluffinut almost went into the wall there. That was a little weird. As Jamian and Flip-Flop Fish are trading positions. Look at this, battling into that turn, into the left-hander, and Jamian loses the position, the Flip-Flop Fish. And I didn't realize how close they were getting is now. Jamian gonna go around the outside. Flip-Flop Fish squeezes him, actually. And Jamian has to drop back a little bit. Flip-Flop getting a little bit touchy with Jamian. In the Toro Rosso. As now Element 10 might have to give way. No, it's actually Kevin Magnussen who's battling with Element 10 right now as Hartman gets over his 3-second time penalty. Let's see how Jamian's going to fare. DRS activated down the straight. The slipstream looking pretty good, though I think he'll just brake hard into this next turn and keep it tidy. And, out-braking himself, actually. I think there might be a little bit of frustration. It looked to be a bit of a squeeze move made by Flip-Flop Fish. And let's see what they can do. Blue flags are being waved. And no, I think there might Element 10 must have to give way for somebody, because I don't know why the blue flags would be being waved right now. As here's the DRS activated. Jamian will get into that slipstream of Flip-Flop Fish. DRS activated. Let's see how close he can get to that Mercedes driver. Will we have a repeat of that last lap? And a little bit too far back. And a little bit going a little deep into that turn. And Jamian might have to sit back and smolder for a few more laps before he can make another charge on Flip-Flop Fish. Getting very tight, getting very icy though between these two drivers. Not giving themselves too much room. Not respecting each other's racing lines all that much. That was a bit of a war, to be quite frank with you. A little bit of bumping wheels. Leclerc and Verstappen at Silverstone sort of battle around there. But then again, that's what you like to see. We like to see wheel-to-wheel action. We like to see a little bit of contact. Of course, we don't want to see terrible contact, but there's blue flags being waved, and that is Sweet Crown 19 trying to lap Element 10. And I think that shows all intents and purposes Element 10's race is over for him right now, as it stands. But here comes Jamian. And he's going to brake hard again, get a better run into that turn, and that's going to help his run through into the next lap. As coming around the hard-braking final few turns, and let's see if he can stay on the money, and if Jamian can get a good run onto the main straight and make an overtake done and dusted. Lap 20 of 27, so 8 laps to go in this race, and bad run through the penultimate turn. Coming around the final turn, Element 10, though, has actually gotten a good run on Jamian. Jamian will have DRS again, but I don't know if he's going to be able to mount much of a challenge on him. Let's see. The Toro Rosso going down that main straight, and no, nothing doing it. But a very good run through that turn, getting very close to Flip-Flop Fish, but nothing happening. Again, he'll have to wait and find his mark, find his time to strike. Flip-Flop Fish on the money right now, though. Now 7 laps to go. Dying few moments of this race. The top 2 drivers battling it out for first position. We'll keep you updated if any other battles go on. As Josh 2, he has a 3-second time penalty. Sweet Crown 19 is sitting in 3rd position in the final podium position. I don't think Sweet Crown 19 has any penalties right now, so that will keep him all steady and going. Flip-Flop Fish, though, now closer is Jamian on this run through DRS, though, again, very hard to make an overtake here, but will he make it anyway? He's getting very close. He might have to do it, and now he does make a dive bomb move on Flip-Flop Fish, but now Flip-Flop Fish will go on the inside, and he gets the move again. Jamian will brake hard. Let's see if he goes into this turn for no move made. And he'll just sit and watch, but now that Toro Rosso, is he going to make a move on its penultimate turn? No. I think you should just sit back and watch and wait for that DRS straight. But now, look at Sweet Crown 19. He's been watching this battle go on, and he's behind Jamian as well. They're all going to have DRS, but the only man who doesn't actually is Flip-Flop Fish. So let's see. DRS activated in the slipstream. What will happen here? And Flip-Flop Fish will dummy him, going around the outside, but no, nothing doing it, as now he has to go off track And here comes Sweet Crown 19 around the outside into the flat left-hander, and he makes the move. But now Jamie will try to get a switchback, but no. Now it's Sweet Crown 19 who will try to battle for first position, and somehow Sweet Crown 19 has gotten himself back into the championship winning, and oh no, but Flip Flop Fish has lost the car, and now he gives the position to Sweet Crown 19 and has lost the lead of this race, and that is some big drama at the end there. But Flip Flop Fish back into the commanding lead, and they're going to be very close on this DRS straight, and let's see how close they are. In fact, as now Flip Flop Fish will have DRS activated, and he'll be very close. Can he make a move into this turn? And he might make a move before that turn, as they're going to go side by side into the turn. Flip Flop Fish on the inside. Sweet Crown 19 gives up the position, and he gets back the lead of this race. Wow. Front wing to rear diffuser. Jamie also watching on board, as now, looking. Again, Jamie had to defend a little bit from Sweet Crown 19. Now around near the penultimate turn, and he'll make a look on the inside, but Sweet Crown 19 backs off. Sweet Crown 19 now in the slipstream of Flip Flop Fish. Jamie and though will have DRS as well. But let's see, Flip Flop Fish, DRS activated, slipstream in tow. Let's see if he's going to dummy him. He's going to look on the inside now, try to make a switchback, I believe. Let's see if he can get him around this flat turn. They're going side by side, but it's Flip Flop Fish who has the position at the moment. Let's see if there's a dive bomb on the inside. No. Wow. Big scenes here at the end of this race. Jamie is sitting and watching, hoping maybe that these top two make a mistake and get a little bit too close for comfort and maybe crash into each other. Imagine the scenes there as Jamie would somehow find himself there. And that would actually promote Fluffinutta into the podium, I believe. Or he might just be right out. No, I think he would get in third position. He's in fifth right now. Really good finish for Fluffinutta. That strategy has really paid off well for him. And here comes Sweet Crown 19. Will he make another move? Where will it be? On the inside? Will a dive bomb move be made? No. Sweet Crown 19 not electing to make a move there. Maybe a little bit too dangerous for him, but Flip Flop Fish will survive. Another few turns, but then it will be on the main straight with that DRS, and I think Flip Flop Fish will have a lot to contend with, and maybe a little bit too much to contend with, in fact, is now coming around that penultimate turn, then that final turn, and on that main straight. There's only 3/10 separating them, now about 4/10, but then DRS will be activated, and then we should see a move made. Flip Flop Fish will do all he can to break the slipstream, but now here comes Sweet Crown 19 looking to make a move around the outside, but nothing doing it. Good defending by Flip Flop Fish. But now Sweet Crown 19 looking again to make another move around the outside, but no, nothing doing it. Will he make a move on there? No. Staying single file, the top three. And it's Sweet Crown 19, though, who gets a 3-second time penalty. And that's not good news at all. As blue flags are being waved, I think that is that should be Lance Stroll, and he gets ahead of him. But now, Jamie is going to get held up by that Racing Points as he finally gets out of the way, but that might have hampered him staying in this battle. Lap 24 of 27. Sweet Crown 19 in that slipstream again. What will he do? Will he make another move? And no. Staying behind him. Waiting for Flip Flop Fish to make another mistake maybe and give up that position. Sweet Crown 19 couldn't keep the position though, and I think Sweet Crown 19, he's not so much of a man of a dive bomber, so I don't think he's going to be making those risky moves. But when you're in the final few laps of this race, what choice do you have? As now we're going to come up to final 3 laps. As lap 25 comes on board, let's see in the final 3 laps what these top 3 drivers can do. As Sweet Crown 19 comes up to Flip Flop Fish in the slipstream. Flip Flop Fish, he'll try to defend, and he will defend well as Sweet Crown 19 can't get the move again. Left-hander coming aboard. Flat through here, and again, this is shades of, I was watching earlier, it was Ayrton Senna at Monaco. It's not Monaco around here, obviously, but he was battling with, oh my goodness, why am I forgetting who he is? Oh, come back to me. But they're having an amazing battle in Monaco. And this is exactly what it was like. Sweet Crown 19 is right on the back of Flip Flop Fish, but he just can't get ahead of him. Not enough overtaking opportunities. And it was Nigel Mansell, battling with Nigel Mansell. An awesome battle at Monaco. Sweet Crown 19 is back in the slipstream with that DRS activated. Will he make a dive bomb move? No, a little bit too far back now to even think of a dive bomb in its own right. But Sweet Crown 19 will look, as now they'll be on the final 2 laps. And Flip Flop Fish is doing everything he can to keep this position. And Jamien is still watching. But as Sweet Crown 19 has DRS, Jamien has DRS, the only man who doesn't is Flip Flop Fish. But somehow Flip Flop Fish has been able to stay alive all these laps. Sweet Crown 19 again in the slipstream. Half a second separating them. Will he finally get that chance? No, looks to be too far back again. Flip Flop Fish stays alive. A better exit out of that turn, but it's going to be futile. No move made into this flat left. Man. This is very, very close between these top 3 drivers. Jamien watching in 3rd position, not able to make any sort of challenge on Sweet Crown due to the fact that Sweet Crown is the man of DRS. We're on lap 26 of 27. Coming up to the final lap of this race, I think the drivers might have to take a few risks, to be quite frank with you. As one man said to Kimi Räikkönen on team radio, last lap, Kimi, all or nothing, though hopefully it doesn't end up like it did with Kimi Räikkönen taking Valtteri Bottas out of the race and Valtteri Bottas missing out on the podium. And here comes Sweet Crown 19. He's looking very close. Oh, rear diffuser with front wing behind. And it's getting really very close as Sweet Crown 19 is coming around that final hard turn as now he comes on to his final lap. Flip Flop Fish moving around, trying to keep the position. And Sweet Crown 19, final lap. But he's closer than he's ever been. And now DRS will be activated. Slipstream in tow. Final chance, I think, for Sweet Crown 19 to be making a move realistically. But now the slipstream's really big. And now, around the outside, no move. But now Sweet Crown 19 gets a really good run on him. Around the flat left-hander. But now Flip Flop Fish keeps the position. Flip Flop Fish has to do something here, though, and I think he'll try, but no. Flip Flop Fish keeps it parked on basically the middle of the track, and no move made. But now Sweet Crown 19 will do everything he can, as a little bit of lockup from Sweet Crown 19, and now Flip Flop Fish might be able to gain just enough an advantage. There is that DRS straight still to contend with, and look how close Sweet Crown 19 is to Flip Flop Fish, and coming up to that DRS zone. This might not be good news for Flip Flop Fish. Is this where he'll lose the position? DRS straight now. DRS activated. Flip Flop Fish might not be able to keep this lead. And there goes the lead of the race as Sweet Crown 19 around on the inside into the final few turns. And he takes the lead of the race in the dying moments. Flip Flop Fish will do all he can. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Final hard-breaking turn before the penultimate turn. Jamien will watch and learn, but now here comes Flip Flop Fish. Final opportunity, I think, and oh, he hits the back of Sweet Crown 19. He'll do everything he can, but now, is it going to be enough? No, it's not enough. Oh my goodness, amazing battling. Flip Flop Fish did everything he could, but Sweet Crown 19 took the win at the end. And the championship leader is going to extend it even further. Wow. Absolutely amazing battling. Now, based on penalties, let's see where it looks to be Fluffernutter who will finish ahead of him. But now it's actually Josh 2. Let's see. No, Fluffernutter keeps his position. Josh 2 will finish in 6th. Good finish for Fluffernutter in 5th position. Here's Hartman coming across the line. He will finish in 7th. You See Me Flying. For all intents and purposes, after that jump start, a pretty good finishing position for him, and Albiku will be the final driver of the human-run cars to finish the race. Element 10 only in 13th position. Not a good finish for him. Not a good first race for him, though hopefully he'll get a better run through there into the next race. But Sweet Crown 19... what an amazing battle for the final few laps. Got the position on the final lap. I think he was waiting to really make the last lap antics, and he waited long enough, and he got the position. Sweet Crown 19, your winner in the Russian Grand Prix. Alfa Romeo again, with more pride on their shoulders as Sweet Crown 19 rides the Alfa Romeo into Parc Ferme and onto the podium. And now there he is, Sweet Crown 19, Flip-Flop Fish in second, and Jamian in third. Raises that Russian Grand Prix trophy high, and champagne flies. At the Sochi Autodrome, Sweet Crown 19 wins the Grand Prix and extends his lead further into the championship. My name is WSR or Noah Clark. You joined Worldwide Sim Racing for the Russian Grand Prix as they sit atop the podium. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful night, ladies and gentlemen.